Hey again everybody, Robert1D4, 2Rs2B's gundam.tk, and now that the Master Grade 00 Riser is complete, and don't forget that you can check out its full review, many parts, by clicking on playlists on my front page, it's time to move on with some other Gundam news. Of course, I want to say a big thank you to Hayamimi Gunpla Information Station, my favorite site for Japanese news with anything to do with Gunpla and Gundam. Basically, during the Shizuoka Hobby Show on May 12th to the 15th, this is a conversation that was had with somebody from Bandai's Hobby Division who was manning the Master Grade Delta Plus booth. The first part of the interview was about the Master Grade V2 Gundam from V Gundam, and after we got the V1 Gundam as a Master Grade, which was much anticipated pretty much everywhere, Bandai's basic answer was the V2 will happen, but they want to take everything slowly because they don't want to make anything that they will have any regrets after. Now, the V1 had some problems with it. Hopefully those all get eliminated when they make the V2 and the inevitable V2 Assault Buster, which will be one of my most sought after kits ever. The next question was regarding high-grade Universal Century, and specifically 0083 Stardust Memories, where basically most of the good guys have already come out, but the question was about the bad guys, similar to the GPO-2A. And it sounds like in January that the Gym Custom, it exceeded Bandai's sales expectations, which is why the Gym Cannon 2 came out with such rapid release. So perhaps there's hope for things like a Gerbera Tetra and things like that down the line. The next question is one that's near and dear to my heart, which is why there are less and less Master Grade models being released. Bandai's answer basically was that because the Master Grade line started in the bubble economy, that there are people that have been trying to buy them all and they just can't keep up. And basically Bandai has come to the realization that 2,000 yen seems to be the sweet spot for these current economic conditions, which certainly bodes poorly for more releases like a Master Grade The-O. The question was also asked, why is there no Master Grade coming out in July, which usually should be a big month. But Bandai's answer was that if there's too many items, it means difficulties for both the designers, distribution, and for the people that buy all the kits. And basically, because it's a real grade Zaku 2, with the Zaku 2 being so important, that deserves a special release all on its own. But bad news for more people that are looking for more 00 kits and pretty much anything else in the expensive Master Grade line. The next topic was high grade Future Century, which sounds like it's sold reasonably well, which is why that it's been continued into this year. And it sounds like it's not that Gundam X did bad in a high grade after war, but it's that they'd rather concentrate on one series at a time, and that means because right now high grade is going to be focusing on G Gundam, and Master Grade is going to be focusing on the Wing comics, it sounds like X is in tough this year. However, when G and Wing wrap up, it sounds like X has a strong possibility of coming back into the limelight. To the topic of perfect grades, where basically Bandai said that sometimes they're going to be releasing them in consecutive years, but other times they won't. However, the interviewer sort of had the impression that maybe, just maybe, they were hiding something, so who knows if there could be a perfect grade release this year. I speculated it could be Quanta, but then again, I'm usually wrong with all my predictions. For fans of Gundam Unicorn, the OVA that's running right now, they talked about the possibility of a perfect grade Unicorn Gundam, but assuming it's got a light-up inner frame, fully movable and posable, and transformable, unfortunately it's going to have a very high matching price. And the interviewer didn't feel very hopeful about the possibility of its release. However, he does point out that the UC fans are older, with more disposable income, so who knows. And he just made the joke that he wants it to come out before the Japanese sales tax, which is 5% right now, goes up. Speaking for myself, anything to do with a perfect grade Unicorn, I'm sure they're going to be doing things like full armor and stuff like that, more towards the end as episode 5 and 6 draw near. The conversation then turned to the Master Grade Delta Plus, which is on sale in August, speaking of Unicorn Gundam. And they talked about that they're in development for a Hyaku-Shiki version 2.0, this is the old one that you see right here, and a Delta Gundam. And what they had mentioned is that if Hyaku-Shiki version 2.0 does come out, then a Delta Gundam may come out as well. But just the fact that they're thinking about a Hyaku-Shiki version 2.0, it's already had a couple variations, is quite exciting. Another Master Grade possibility from Gundam UC is the Kashatria, and again my pronunciation's always off with that. However, Bandai said that they do have one made, but it needs a steel frame to support it, and again they cite the bad economy, which probably means that the chance of getting something the high-grade Universal Century is already pretty big and pricey. To go something that's bigger than the O may not be in the cards. It sounds like the whole conversation ended with the interviewer regretting the fact that he forgot to ask specifically about Gundam 00. So whether we'll be getting perfect grades or master grades or even the movie suits in 1/100th form is something that remains a mystery. So that wraps up this news from the Shizuoka Hobby Show, and even though it's a little bit old, I just thought there was a couple important trends that they talked about that I wanted to talk to you about, and again, this is all thanks to Hayamimi Gunpla Information Station. Thank you again. So what do you think about this down below? Are you more excited about things like the Master Grade V2? Are you surprised about the possibility or lack thereof of a perfect grade Unicorn or Kashatria? 00 line, where is that going to go? High grade Universal Century 0083? Is that your cup of tea? But for me, of course, the big one is just the conversation regarding the master grades and just how many or how few we may be getting in the future. And of course, Bandai is branching out. If you've got a Monkey D. Luffy and a whole bunch of common riders, when you're starting to get to the lesser end of the Gundam scale, are you going to sell more Monkey D. Luffy and more Common Rider or anything like that? And Bandai now has the sales numbers that I'm sure they can go and make those decisions. So the odds of us getting a Master Grade Legend, well, we'll have to find out. Anyway, everybody, why don't you let me know what you think with a comment down below. Apologies if I have mistranslated. That happens all the time, and I apologize for it. But again, thank you very much, and stay tuned for lots more news, reviews, comments, and forum questions. Pretty much everything. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. You know, I feel like one of the girls from the boxing match.